And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans Judds, all you fancy-looking Keanu Conan. And don't worry, I didn't forget about the creepy-looking plagues people lurking in the shadow. This is a grand arena you do not want to miss, people. I'm talking insane high IQ defenses and a new era possibly being ushered for our favorite galactic legend, Lord Vader. Folks, you know what you gotta do. Hit that like button. Hopefully you're enjoying these Grand Arena highlights because, man, let me tell you, our first week of 5v5 is in the book for this season, and we ended on some pretty interesting notes. Let's get into the action and show you what we got for today. Our opponent in this Grand Arena was up against Exar-kun. People, I had to take a nice deep look as to where the Grand Arena meta is right now. Over at the end game in the crazy world of whales and kraken swimming about. What we can all agree on, I think, right now is Great Mothers is kind of the focal point. Not just Grand Arena, but Territory Wars as well, because you only have like 2 solid counters for the most part in Grand Arena for Great Mothers, and that's basically Master Kenobi or Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So as we're going to take a look at my defense later on, stay tuned towards the end to see the result of the defense of what my opponent used. My goal with this defense is to weed out a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren before my opponent hits the Great Mothers, and well, we're gonna find out with my defense having Sith Eternal, a Leia, as well as having a interesting Traya lead Lord Vader combo. Let me tell you, it's going to make it pretty difficult to get to my back wall without the need of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, because with the Lord Vader Traya combo that we might be seeing a little bit more often, it's going to shut down Bo-Katan as a frequent counter to Lord Vader likely, Fennec Shan, and really, it might convince someone to use a galactic legend of some sort versus Lord Vader. It's funny to say, but generally I find other things to be better as a lead than Lord Vader. But stick till the end. We're going to see if my theory ended up panning out to be true. But let's get into the attack phase on this Exar-kun defense with our first battle being Shorty versus Oh, people, I love this counter. It's a shame it's going to go away soon. This is one of the few things that I like so much. Seeing Shorty and the droid do some crazy. It's really the first time we're using Lobot in any sort of legitimate capacity. You know the drill at this point. Use the support cron, ramp up a bunch of damage, let your Dark Trooper, or you might use BT to nuke out the enemy team. I've been telling people this. I don't recommend putting Luthen on defense because this is a very budget counter, and if you wait till later on, you're going to see the crazy stuff that Luthen can do in case you weren't keen or made privy to it. So there we go. Shorty knocking out Luthen. Nice, easy win. I feel like I talked more about this than the battle actually required. That leads us to the following battle, my friends, where things got a little complicated. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker versus Master Kenobi. So we ran into a little bit of an oopsie. I meant to save my Plo Koon for offense, but I accidentally forgot about it, left it on defense with Master Kenobi, so I was really hoping I could take Master Luke without Plo to beat the Jedi Master Kenobi with Plo. Plo and his Datacron are pretty gnarly, and we were starting off pretty well, controlling the enemy team with my own stun on the level 6 Datacron that we had. However, unfortunately, Master Kenobi, which I swear his AI is played by an actual human, was executing the plays so perfectly up against my team that unfortunately, right before I was able to get insta-kill Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, he was put down like a dog, my friend. So unfortunately, this didn't work. But you know what happened? Despite this failure, the chat came up with something that was actually really darn good and very good. Like, I'm not even kidding. It wasn't like barely. It was really good. And that's going to lead us to Jabba the Hutt versus Master Kenobi. People, keep this one in the back seat of your pocket right now, because let me tell you, right now Master Kenobi is a little bit interesting with this Plo Koon. And I know Jabba beats Kenobi normally, but with the data crown, like, this isn't going to work. But with the support crown on Jabba taking lots of buff units to make Master Kenobi as well as Plo not as viable as a tank, we were able to take down Commander Sokatano so quickly, so easily because of all the buff unity. Super clean counter. I kind of wish I did this beforehand, but you know what? If I didn't fail with Master Luke, we wouldn't be able to do this. So people, Jabba the Hutt, really good against Master Kenobi. I don't know if this is going to work once the data crown goes away for the support crown, but that's looking pretty good, if you ask me. As people said in my chat, that's a rare chat W right there. Super good. Man, oh man. We were able to keep pushing through, my friends, where this next part of the Grand Arena was Queen Amidala
Traya versus Raid Shadow Legend.
Here's the thing, folks. This battle right here is an important one. You might be like, oh, you've done this 5 trillion times. And I have. But the reason why it's important because I haven't really done it without the support Datacron. In this one, we just used the Master Qui-Gon Datacron. And let's just say, it still works perfectly fine. Even though we don't have the support Cron, so Padawan and Obi-Wan can go and hit for like 12 trillion damage. We're still hitting for at least 8 trillion damage. You know, sometimes the support Cron gives you way more damage than you need. Very happy with this outcome here because especially when the support Datacron goes away, we want Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Queen Amidala to still be a viable team on offense and defense. And yeah, they're still going to get the work done up against Rey. That's something you're eyeballing. Big, massive win. But people, we aren't done yet. Because speaking of Lord Vader, we had one more team, and that was
Bo-Katan versus Lord Vader.
And this right here is kind of putting together the reasoning. Why you might, I mean, here's the reason why we don't really put Lord Vader on defense anymore. Number one, Fennec can maybe work her way through. Number two, Bo-Katan is basically a guaranteed win up against a standard Lord Vader lineup. But as I said earlier, with the Traya lead that I placed on defense with Lord Vader, it basically should make it very difficult for Bo-Katan to one-shot a Traya Lord Vader combo because of all the attacks on turn, the buffs out of turn, and with the Traya support crown on the Savage, Nihilist, Lord Vader talent team, it's going to make it quite complicated for Bo to work. So this is going to be an opportunity. If you want Lord Vader to be better, this might be the new era for the time being, making it more complicated to get through Lord Vader because right now you can get through Lord Vader fairly easily without a Galactic Legend. So nonetheless, we took down their Lord Vader, and now we crack open the back wall. We're back here. We saw your usual business. Ben, Caloran back with Eth Koth, as well as Admiral Trench. However, first battle that we're going to be doing here and moving forward is
Luthen versus Leia Organa.
Here's why I would not recommend putting Luthen down on defense. Although Shorty's a great, accessible counter to Luthen, yes, that's the primary reason why it's a little bit risky to put Luthen on defense with something that cheap. This right here shows the power of Luthen. If you guys remember, day one testing with our Luthen, we were beating Lord Vaders, right? We were beating sometimes, maybe a Jabba the Hutt. We were beating Rey Shadow Legs. But you know what else we were beating? We were able to beat Leia Organa, and here's where we see the money. Yes, we have the PAL Datacron, which again, we've made this work without PAL Datacron inside a squad arena. Once our Terminator rolls, the enemy team can't really keep up. Keep in mind, as you get Terminator, Leia Organa is going to have some baked-in anti-crits by ranking up her crit avoidance. So don't even bother with the support crown. We just went for your POW. You can go with the Luthen Datacron right here. We're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling. And soon enough, people, Leia was down, and boy, did it feel good. Luthen, such a massive fan of this character. I really feel like this year has been the strongest year for conquest between Bane, Leia, Luthen. I'm hoping Ezra kind of fits the bill as well. We've had some pretty solid banger-rific conquest. So if you happen to unlock Luthen just the other day, massive congratulations. This is a good character, whether he goes with Mon Mothma or whether he goes with Saw Gerrera. But people, let's keep moving forward. Next battle that we have is
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren versus the Great Mother.
And here is that title battle that we talk about. Right now, the Grand Arena meta, Territory War, whatever you're looking at, it's basically Great Mothers. And right now, you basically, outside of Territory Wars, you have Master Kenobi, and you have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, assuming you're using Kylo Ren on Master Lead. If you don't know why we're using Kylo Ren on Master Lead, you're missing out on some swagology homework. There's a card in the top right-hand corner. If you want to know why Kylo Ren on Master Lead is important, long story short, lots of Terminator allows us to roll over the Great Mothers without them taking a single turn, more or less. But this is the battle I'm trying to keep in mind when forming my defense. I want to find a way to pull away the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren before they hit my Great Mothers, because if they don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, they don't have Master Kenobi, it's going to be an absolutely painful experience taking out Great Mothers. But for me, nice, easy win, people. Primarily works because the Attacker Datacron, and I fear once the Attacker Datacron goes away, it might get a little bit harder for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to beat this. So enjoy it while you can, because it might be by next season be that only Master Kenobi can win. But I'm sure there's going to be another Datacron. I know you guys love those. That'll enable another counter. But there we go. Great Mothers are dead. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. And now we move on to
Dark Trooper Moff Gideon versus Jabba the Hutt.
I was a little worried about this. In case you guys missed it, they nerfed the Gideon, the OG Gideon Datacron, as well as Eth Koth as another one here. Mainly because there was basically an infinite Terminator loop situation. Well, it worked amazingly in 3v3 when it wasn't nerfed. But now that it's nerfed, I wasn't sure if this was going to work in 5v5. So I was like, you know what? Gideon, take the wheel. Please smash push the Hutt cartel. You know what I'm trying to get across here. Even though now he only gets the 100% Terminator once every 4 turns, or however the heck it works, it still worked out pretty well. And I was pretty surprised. I was not expecting to do as well as before. Obviously, it was much better before, but it still works. So if you're someone that has Gideon, especially if Dark threw him off Gideon, this is still going to work. So keep that in your back pocket when you're trying to work through Jabba. Especially since I don't have as many Night Sisters on offense, I've been utilizing this quite a lot. Nice, simple win, pretty clean. I can't be mad about that. And you know what else I'm not mad about? Is this next battle
With Darth Vader versus Queen Amidala.
Oh, I always get a little scared. You know, especially there's a lot of defense on these Queen Amidala's, Datacron. This is not the support Cron we're going up against. This is with the Master Qui-Gon, Datacron. There's some protection disruption that they have, so, you know, you get a little worried. But I went in with my highest health Datacron, which conveniently happens to be 69%. And with all that maximum health that we have, it really made sure I survived all the bombardment of damage that we have. And eventually, you just get a big swipe attack, taking all the buffs, and soon you knock them down one by one like those Galactic Republic flies that they are. Darth Bane pulled out the win. That's what I like to see. My favorite character in this game doing W-O-R-K. He working, my friend. He's not twerking, he's working. And then we have another favorite conquest unit of mine,
Maul versus Caloran.
I was beckoning Maul to keep his win streak going. He was 2-0 up against Caloran Beck this season. East Coast Datacron is quite a gnarly one. However, Maul and the Mandalorians, oh, I love this team so much. And you know what? Although the Lord Vader Traya combo is a little bit expensive, it makes me feel good not using Lord Vader with Maul. It just doesn't. I'd want Maul to do these things that he's doing. Let Lord Vader try to be helpful in someone else's team. And here, we're seeing it do work. He went 3-0 up against Caloran Beck. This feels very safe right now. Otherwise, Caloran Beck or Qui-Gon Jinn at Eve Cost can be a little scared, the sheer amount of damage they have. But no matter what, we pushed through it. And the fun fact, this had 300% defense. But guess what? When Maul's doing true damage, I don't care how much defense you got. You're getting buried by Maul and his gang of misfit Mandalorians. Love it. Maul taking the win. And we keep a rolling along. Where next up, we have
Afra versus Admiral Trench, a.k.a. the Stench, a.k.a. the Best.
Admiral Trench's days are kind of getting numbered. His Datacron is slowly going to be going away soon. So, you know, who knows if we're going to see him on defense here. But nonetheless, Afra impressing me again. You know, sometimes she, causes me much disappointment. But today, she made it work. So long as we get that doubt on Admiral Trench, so he doesn't get any Terminator and all that fun jazz, mumbo jumbo schmumbo, it's going to work fine. He's not going to get that Terminator. You're good to go. And guess what? We have Boba Fett side of Jango here. And this battle would have been totally fine without Boba Fett side of Jango. But you know what? He was here. He did work. And Darth Vader won on a merciless massacre. Choo, 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 choo. Nice, easy win. Yeah, good job, Afra. Happy to see you, girl. Hopefully we can find some more uses out of her. The problem is Afra feels so Datacron dependent. It sucks. That's all I gotta say. And then we have one more character battle to go, and that's gonna be
Starkiller versus Zori.
We performed so well, and I was like, I got Starkiller left over. I got an attacker Datacron. Boy, this is overkill. And you know what? Sometimes there ain't no party like an overkill party. Getting out there, rolling over this enemy team, back-to-back-to-back plays. There's not much to talk about. Starkiller dunked on these fools. Although this is great for Starkiller. Starkiller, listen to me, man. We need to get you back on the raid teams. Because let me tell you, we've been going a little too long without Starkiller versus raids. A little iffy right now for Starkiller. I'm hoping once the Nest Datacron, the attacker Datacrons go away, we can focus Starkiller coming back to his prime forte. And that's Starkiller versus Rey, but we'll have to wait and see. And then lastly, certainly not leastly, or maybe leastly, depending on how you look at it, we have ships. We can go through this, bada bing, bada boom. This is the usual stuff that we got here. We have ourselves
Negotiator versus Executor.
You know the drill at this point. You get out there. This is the triple attacker lineup. Take out the IG-88. Take out the Xanadu Blood. Bring in the Ahsoka. Here, it's done. Game over. And I sound like a broken record. But we're supposed to be getting the Punishing One kit reveal sometime soon. I don't know how long this is going to last, so enjoy it, people. Just like I need you to enjoy this next battle. We're speaking of Negotiator.
We have Chimera versus The Negotiator.
There wasn't much negotiating on this. Let me tell you, the negotiations were very short. Although a little annoying, opening play, Kenobi got out his mass daze attack, although I was really hoping to bait that out. Because remember, if you get Anakin low enough before Kenobi takes a turn, Kenobi's going to do the on the loyalty. However, you have to be kind of low yellow. We were yellow, but not low yellow, so a little frustrating. No worries, though. Bringing that TIE Interceptor, get the cleanse of the days, mark down, get the buff immunity on the Anakin. Easy money, folks. And one more battle to go. We have Holdo versus Malevolence. One of my favorite battles. It just always puts a smile on my face. Yeah, is Holdo doing anything high shelf level? Not really. You know, we're not using it for Leviathan, not really using it for Profundity, not really using it for, Executors. But you know what? I see quite a lot. I'm actually surprised I still see Malevolence on defense. I think people do this because, well, they don't want to be aggressive like me, putting all three of their big capital ships down. So they generally put Malevolence down because we're not using Malevolence for too much out there. So we see Malevolence a lot, and that means we're going to get a lot of Holdo action. Once you bring out that comeuppance, use the Ray AoE, you better be nuking that whole team, and it feels good when you do. And folks, the final score ended up being
1802 versus 136.
With the heavy defense that we applied, a lot of hybrid teams with the Sith Eternal, Malgus combo, Traya, and Lord Vader. This is a very good score. Not going too heavy on the offense, and the most important thing is, what is the theory of baiting out the Supreme Leader Kyle Ren before the Great Mothers panning out? Well, taking a look at our data from swgoh.gg, it seems like it did. Remember, on the front wall, technically all four of those battles are prime candidates for Supreme Leader Kyle Ren. You could SOKR the Master Kenobi. You could SOKR the Sith Eternal. SOKR the Traya Lord Vader combo. SOKR the Leia. And my opponent through SOKR versus Leia. And if you paid attention, they had Master Kenobi on defense. So if they used Supreme Leader Kyle Ren against Leia, and then they had Master Kenobi on defense. Let's just say when they get to that back wall and they fight Great Mothers, they probably would have been really screwed unless they got really lucky with some sort of Traya one-shot, two-shot scenario. So otherwise, people, take a look at it. Try it yourself. If you happen to have Great Mothers and you want to try to bait out Supreme Leader Kyle Ren, that is the name of the game. Weed out the Supreme Leader Kyle Ren so the Great Mothers have maximum difficulty for your opponent, Oh, misery loves company, and let me tell you, it's a pretty miserable experience dealing with Great Mothers without the right tools. But anyways, people, that's going to wrap it up for today in this grand arena. Hopefully you had a grand time over here, and if you didn't, you know what to do. Hit that like button, comment down below, and all your beautiful thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and I'm always forgetting something. Oh yeah, that's right. It's great to be in the Empire today.